Hey ambitious aspirants, I'm Advocate Tamanna and welcome to Anmol Mehta's Super 20 IAS. So guys, I'm back with another video of our current affairs series अखबार का ज्ञान जो आएगा काम. इस वीडियो का कंपोनेंट है साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. तो चलिए let's start with our video. Question number 1. Consider the following statements about poliomyelitis. It is a highly infectious viral disease which mainly affects young children. The virus is transmitted by person to person and spread through contaminated water or food. With latest developments in medicine, polio disease can be cured. India became the first country globally to introduce fractional doses of IPV in childhood immunization program. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1, 2 and 3. Option B, 1 and 4. Option C, 1, 3 and 4. And option D, 1, 2 and 4. The correct answer is option D, 1, 2 and 4. Poliomyelitis, also known as polio, is a highly infectious viral disease which mainly affects young children. The virus is transmitted by person to person, spread mainly through the fecal-oral route or less frequently by a common vehicle, example, contaminated water or food, and multiplies in the intestine, from where it can invade the nervous system and can cause paralysis. Initial symptoms of polio include fever, fatigue, headache, vomiting, stiffness in the neck, and pain in the limbs. In a small proportion of cases, the disease causes paralysis, which is often permanent. There is no cure for polio. It can only be prevented by immunization. Question number 2. Consider the following statements regarding microplastics. Microplastics are synthetic or semi-synthetic, solid, water-insoluble plastic particles of a size range below 1 micrometer. Because of its size, most of the microplastics are biodegradable. Microplastics are also considered as airborne pollutants. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1 and 3. Option B, 1 and 2. Option C, 3 only. And option D, 2 and 3. The correct answer is option C, 3 only. Microplastics are synthetic or semi-synthetic solid, water-insoluble, high polymer plastic particles of a size range below 5 micrometer but bigger than 1 micrometer. They are both used as a raw material for a number of products and produced from degradation of any plastic product. Their small size allows them to pass through wastewater treatment plants and reach the ocean through surface water bodies and rivers. Microplastics are non-biodegradable and persistent in marine and fresh water. Plastic particles, generally of size below 1 micrometer, are called nanoplastics. They pose high risk to the environment because of their reduced size, which is 1,000 times smaller than an algal cell. Microplastics undergo various processes of physical, enzymatic, and microbial degradation in nature but do not get completely broken down. Microplastics can absorb extremely harmful hydrophobic organic pollutants. Removal of microplastics from aquatic environment is extremely difficult as that could lead to the elimination of all plankton-sized organisms. Microplastics exist in the air as airborne pollutants originating from the plastic textile fiber production. Microplastics used as abrasives in the personal care and cosmetic products are commonly known as microbeads. Mostly of spherical shape, these are used in both leave-on lotions and rinse-off products. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding 5G technology. 5G or 5th generation is the latest upgrade in the long-term evolution LTE mobile broadband networks. 5 5G only works in high frequency spectrum. 5G is said to be as much as 100 times faster than 4G. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1 and 2. Option B, 1 only. Option C, 2 and 3. And option D, 1 and 3. The correct answer is option D, 1 and 3. 5G or 5th generation is the latest upgrade in the long-term evolution LTE mobile broadband networks. 5G mainly works in 3 bands, namely low, mid and high frequency spectrum, all of which have their own uses as well as limitations. With speeds up of to 100 gigabytes per second, 5G is said to be as much as 100 times faster than 4G. Question number 4. Prime editing, sometimes seen in the news, is related to option A, 3D printing technology, option B, editing subatomic particles in quantum communication, option C, blockchain technology, and option D, genome editing technology. The answer is option D, genome editing technology. Prime editing is a search and replace genome editing technology in molecular biology by which the genome of living organisms may be modified. The technology directly writes new genetic information into a targeted DNA site. The technology is an early stage experimental genome editing method that has received mainstream press attention due to its potential uses in medical genetics. It utilizes similar methodologies to presecure genome editing technologies including CRISPR, Cas9 and base editors. Question number 5. Juice jacking, sometimes seen in the news, is option A, ATM card skimming technique to clone debit credit cards to withdraw money. Option B, cyber attack which alters the communication between two users. Option C, cyber attack during the mobile charging process. And option D, cyber attack through a disguised email. The answer is option C. Juice jacking, a type of cyber attack which originates from USB charging port installed at public places such as airports, cafes, bus stands, etc. Once the device is plugged in and the connection is established, it either installs malware or secretly copies sensitive data from a smartphone, tablet or any other computer device. Question number 6. With reference to visible light communication technology, which of the following statements are correct? VLC uses electromagnetic spectrum wavelengths 375 to 780 nanometer. VLC is known as long-range optical wireless communication. VLC can transmit large amount of data faster than Bluetooth. VLC has no electromagnetic interference. Select the correct answer using the codes. Option A, 1, 2 and 3. Option B, 1, 2 and 4. Option C, 1, 3 and 4. And option D, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is option C. Option 3 and option 5 are misleading as electromagnetic interference can be minimized but can't be eliminated entirely in any communication setup that uses electromagnetic radiation. In fact, whether VLC can transmit more data than Bluetooth depends on the kind of modulation used and instrumentation. According to current capabilities, Bluetooth is better than VLC on this front. For example, between two devices of comparable cost, Bluetooth will yield superior performance because it is not limited by line of sight limitations where VLC is. Question number 7. Consider the following statements regarding high-temperature proton exchange membrane technology. It takes nuclear fuel as the input and produces heat and water as its byproducts. It is suitable for distributed stationary power applications like small offices and commercial units. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A, 1 only. Option B 2 only, option C both, and option D none. The correct answer is option B 2 only. India's first indigenously developed high temperature based fuel cell system. It is a 5.0 kilowatt fuel cell system that generates power in a green manner. It takes methanol as the input and produces heat and water as its byproducts. The developed fuel cells are based on high temperature proton exchange membrane technology. Developed under the public-private partnership model by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research in partnership with Indian industries. Built under India's flagship program named New Millennium Indian Technology Leadership Initiative. The applications are suitable for distributed stationary power applications like for small offices, commercial units, data centers, etc., where highly reliable power is essential with simultaneous requirement for air conditioning. It will also meet the requirement of efficient, clean and reliable backup power generator for telecom towers, remote locations and strategic applications as well. Replace diesel generating sets and help reduce India's dependence on crude oil. Question number 8. Consider the following statements regarding neutrinos. They can be weaponized. Human body cannot tolerate exposure to neutrinos. They are completely massless. Which of the above statements are correct? Option A 1 and 2. Option B 2 only. Option C 1 and 3. And option D none of the above. The correct answer is option D, none of the above. Neutrinos are information bearers of the universe which are almost never lost in the path. India's efforts in studying neutrinos at INO may help us unravel the deepest mystery of the universe, why there is more matter than antimatter in the universe. Neutrinos are the least harmful of all elementary particles as they almost never react with solid bodies. Also, people tend to confuse the neutrino for the neutron. This has led to confusion that neutrinos can be weaponized, which is far from the truth. They are not used to trigger fission reactions but are instead produced as a result of the reactions. Neutrinos have mass and as shown recently, they change their masses too. The neutrino is so named because it is electrically neutral. Question number 9. Consider the following symptoms and the deficiency of the particular vitamin that is associated with the same. Loss of vision in darkness, vitamin D. Weak muscles and very little energy to work, vitamin B1. Wound takes longer to heal, vitamin C. Select the correct answer code. Option A 1 and 2. Option B 2 only. Option C 2 and 3. And option D 1 and 3. The answer is option C. Deficiency of vitamin A causes loss of vision. Deficiency of vitamin B1 causes beriberi. Deficiency of vitamin C causes scurvy. Deficiency of vitamin D causes rickets. Deficiency of calcium causes bone and tooth decay. And deficiency of iodine causes goiter. And lastly, deficiency of iron causes anemia. So let's move on to question number 10. Consider the following pairs. Phase of the star and their characteristics. Red giant, they have diameter larger than the sun. Nebula, explosive death of a star. Red dwarf, faintest main sequence stars. White dwarf, very small star whose nuclear energy has been used. Which of the pairs given above are not correctly matched? Option A 1 and 2. Option B 3 and 4. Option C 1, 3 and 4. And option D 1, 2, 3 and 4. The correct answer is option C, nebula. A nebula is a cloud of gas, mostly hydrogen and helium, and dust in space. Nebula are the birthplaces of stars. A supernova is the explosive death of a star and often results in the star obtaining the brightness of 100 million suns for a short time. So, pair 2 is not correctly matched. Red giant. Red giants have diameters between 10 and 100 times that of the sun. So, pair 1 is correctly matched. A very large red giant is often called red supergiant. Faintest, less than 1/1000 the brightness of the sun, main sequence stars are called the red dwarfs. Proxima Centauri, the nearest star to the sun, is a red dwarf. So, pair 3 is correctly matched. White dwarf. A white dwarf is a very small hot star, the last stage in the life cycle of a star. White dwarfs are remains of normal stars whose nuclear energy supplies have been used up. So, pair 4 is also correctly matched. White dwarf consists of degenerate matter with a very high density due to gravitational effects. So, I hope you guys like the video. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell icon for more videos. Thank you so much for watching and happy learning.